Welcome to Homocide, the podcast. I'm Kevin.
And I'm Brandon.
And this is our
Third.
Fuck my life.
This is our third Homotown Murder.
Third Homotown Murder. And we have Anna here. Anna, hello.
Hi.
Hello. You can't see her on camera. She is on camera facing us right here.
She's calling in from New York. Well, we sit here in our home in Tampa.
Yeah, we are in our Tampa.
From the big titty.
We are at our home in Tampa in our little dining room. And Nick. And
You're
we have
welcome.
a very special...
It's super cute. They have a very nice kitchen.
Thank you.
She got the whole kitchen tour.
She did.
It
did
the
not
2
look,
second, let's turn the camera around, you get to see our house. That's all it is.
It did not look the way that it looks now before, which our guests can attest to for sure.
This is true.
Yeah. So without further ado, Julius.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you. Three's a charm.
Right?
I'm so happy to be number 3.
It is. Well, I thought we were 4, so that's that. Julius, tell us.
Take the thunder out of my storm, will you?
Will you? How do we know you? Who are you?
Who am I? I am originally from Tampa. So a lot of people know me, especially a lot of gay people know me.
Wait, you're gay?
I know, right? The pink I'm wearing.
Well, give it away.
My illustrious career thus far, I've been a Grand Marshal for St. Pete Pride. My partner and I, we owned a gay clothing brand for about 6 years. Just a whole bunch of different stuff, different adventures that I've been on. But I met you guys, me and some friends met you guys. Oh, I don't know. How long ago has it been
I don't even
now?
know how.
5 years ago?
I don't even remember.
7
years ago.
7
it was
years
when
ago.
when we first moved here, it was like that first year that we were in Tampa.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I don't remember how we met though.
Friends of a friend.
Okay. Oh, that's
And
right. That's
we
right.
had a friend that said, I just met these 2 really great guys. They just moved here.
Yeah.
They remind me a lot of you and Jason, who Jason is my special friend.
Special friend.
I love that.
And so they're like, we think you guys should get together and get to know each other.
Yeah.
And that's where we've been.
Yeah, and then if anybody listening has followed us for a bit, which I'm sure you have not, this is not our first.
Excuse me?
Well, it was a different genre,
We are
completely
popular,
different. I mean,
Brandon.
I'm not going to disagree, but there's a lot of people who listen to our podcast from from places that nobody would have listened to our last podcast.
Sure.
Because we did have a podcast before, so this is not the first time we are on the mic with Julius.
No.
There was
So we
a
had
few
a-
years ago. We had that.
It was a while ago. We had a podcast called So Basic Podcast.
We did.
We did.
And we just talked about the only thing I mostly remember from that was philodendrons. And it was in our intro. Who did that?
It was Julius.
Was it you?
Yeah.
Bit of
Anyway,
engine.
there's no context to that. So, yeah. But what did we talk about on that? It was just like
It was
current
like a
day shit, right?
Yeah, current day shit. I think it was one where it was us with our friend Marissa, and we just like
Hot
started
topics
talking.
of the day.
Yeah, we started
type of
talking
thing.
about things that were happening and whatever. So it's a much different genre. Meaning,
Yeah.
people who are liking true crime are probably. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot that would follow us regardless, but
Well, I think there's a split. I think
was
people
different.
follow us for the true crime aspect, and I think people follow us because we're a hot fucking mess.
100% we're a mess.
And I think people think that's funny.
Yeah.
Maybe not. I don't know.
I really thought you were just saying, I'm sure you haven't followed us for a while, like followed Homocide for a while. I was like,
And it's like,
no, I meant
Brandon.
us as in Kevin and Brandon's journey in life.
I don't know. I don't know that we're that interesting, but yeah. Okay, so we've known you for a little while, and obviously run into you a lot in general, but have hung out as well. And you have been following Homocide, I think, since the beginning when we launched, right?
I have. So the latest iteration of who I am is called Walking with Julius. I am on a fitness journey well, let me back up. So I'm 52. I know fat don't crack.
That don't crack. I love that. Yeah.
But I woke up one day with like extreme back pain. And it wasn't going away, and it wasn't going away. And I weighed 424 pounds. And I finally went to the doctor, and they're like, great news. You have early onset arthritis.
Oh, great.
So you should start walking. And I'm like, okay. So I started walking, and this was over a year ago. This was, say, like October of 22. So I start walking, and it was not easy to just walk around the neighborhood. I stopped multiple times, but I was finally getting into a rhythm. And then December hit, and I came down with bronchitis, which turned into a lung infection.
Oh, my God.
That lasted until February, and it was like, talk about walking. I could take like 3 steps and be like,
oh, geez.
and couldn't breathe.
Oh, my
and
Lord.
I was on the inhalers and what are called pearls, that because it's constant coughing.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
I mean, the abs of steel are hidden in here from all of that. So I came to the realization that, all right, high blood pressure, obesity. I'm probably pre-diabetic, which I hadn't checked until that point, which I am. And then, of course, the early onset arthritis. I'm like, I'm going to make a change.
Yeah.
So not only did I continue walking, but actually educated myself about walking and endurance and breathing and added in weight training and diet and counting my calories, which I do. And now I was talking with Brandon earlier. I'm almost to the first 100. I'm
That's
8
so
pounds
awesome.
to the first 100.
Oh, my God. Congratulations.
Thank you. So there'll be a big party. And there's a company called MeUndies, which is an underwear brand out of Australia, who discovered me on Instagram, and they sent me some free underwear. And their owner follows me, and they're like, anything you need, we are supporting you on your journey. Aww. And so all of these things have happened just because I decided it was time to be healthy.
I love that.
So, I took my charisma and my youthful glow. And so that's kind of like where I am now and what I'm doing.
I really, really love that.
Yeah.
So what? So obviously that's what kind of encouraged you to do this big shift in your life. But what are the kind of the positive outcomes outside of, obviously physically you've shifted, but mentally, what do you think that's impacted?
So mentally, I had a lot of confidence before, but it has really given me the silence to that inner saboteur voice.
Sure.
Yeah.
That still creeps up and is like, you've done enough, or why are you doing this? Who, does it matter? Eat whatever you want. And so I finally just said, no, the confidence level grew.
Yeah.
I can wear so many more cute clothes. Like I wouldn't wear little short overalls before and a little pink top
Very
with
cute.
a little man.
Peeking through.
And even when I was leaving today to come over here, Jason had said to me, he's like, be sure to wear something cute because you've worked hard and you can do it.
Oh,
I love that.
Jason.
Where normally I used to wear just like plain black tees all the time, which I love.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah, which I love. But I
That's
started feeling confident and going, I can go out and actually put an outfit together.
Yeah.
I can actually wear running shoes now.
Yeah.
My feet used to be so swollen and my ankles were so swollen. I was getting to the point where, old men who have little Velcro straps. I'm
Yeah.
like, no, no Velcro. But I can finally wear like really nice running shoes. My feet don't swell up anymore.
Yeah.
I'm actually sprinting now. I do a lot of 5Ks.
Yeah. I've seen that.
So all of that just builds into more of who I am.
Yep.
Yeah.
And like everything I had before, that fear that would hold a lot of it back is no longer there.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, if I want to go out, if I want to say something to someone, or if I want to do something, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And no repercussions, and I'm not going to feel bad about it,
Yeah.
Yeah, I love
having
that.
a good time, so to speak.
Yeah. I really fucking love that. So where can people, let's just get this right out. Where can people follow you?
All the socials. It's Walking with Julius all together.
Yep.
So TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, if you're still, well, I'm a man of a certain age.
Girls always.
So if you're on the Facebooks, so you can find me there.
Okay, perfect. And it's Walking with Julius. That's
Walking
your
with
handle, right?
Julius, yeah.
Yep.
Awesome. Okay, well, I know that we have a fabulous Homotown Murder.
I read the first little bit when he sent
Yeah.
it to us. Mind you, he sent it to us a while ago. We took a little bit too long to do this, so thank you for coming in.
Yeah, if you don't know Brandon and I, we are Brandon and I, if you know us, we sign up for way too much in our life.
Yeah,
And
we're a mess.
No, I have no time, ever. And so yeah, Julius, I think it was like a month ago, 2 months ago. Oh my god,
It was something like
About
that.
a month. I think it's just
Yeah.
like a month.
Jesus Christ!
But I had
All right.
read like
Yep.
the first bit of the notes, and I was like, "Oh shit, this is This is going to be a good one.
And so
I'm
this
excited for
this
it.
is your home because you're from Tampa. So
Yeah.
this is a home. Okay, cool. So Homotown, Tampa, which is a homotown.
Homotowns in Tampa.
Yeah, but there is one thing that I do want to jump in and address, which is happening in this state, which is where we're at right now in Florida, and that is that the 6-week abortion ban, I believe, just started. Correct?
Yeah, just start it.
Which essentially means that no women in the state of Florida have any access to their own health care, which is fucked up. So, yeah, please go vote in November.
And check your
I'm
voter
not gonna-
registration. Make
yeah,
sure you are registered to vote.
correct. And don't only vote. Please vote blue, which I will directly say, because unfortunately we have some crazy ass motherfuckers on the red side who are taking away people's rights. And it's not only women's rights. They will come for more.
I mean, they are going to be coming for more.
Yeah. And so
it's in the pipeline.
Very important that you get out and vote, not only in our state, but across the United States. So please go register to vote if you're not registered, and vote blue.
Yeah.
That's that.
And if you are one of our listeners in Australia or the UK or somewhere that's not here, if you know an American, tell them to go
Tell
vote.
them to go vote. Literally, I asked.
Tell them to sign up.
I know we have interns, or not even interns anymore, but we have students come in from colleges around campus that want to tour and do all this kind of stuff. And you better believe that as the CEO of our company, I'm like, are you registered to vote?
There you go.
I do
You will
it
not be working here if you're
every
not.
single time.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, yeah, very, very important. And I just want to send all of our gay love out to all of the women in the world, or the humans that can get pregnant, that I'm just sorry and that we're here for you.
Yeah.
And on that, let's switch to murder.
On that serious note, let's go to another
On that
serious
serious
note.
note. So, Julius, let's dive into your Homotown.
All right. I decided that I needed to give my story a name because you two give your stories names.
Yes.
So what I came up with is splattered jeans and splattered walls.
Ooh.
I know, she fancy, right?
That reminds me of that was the song "Empty Chairs and Empty Tables."
Oh, from Les Mis, yeah. Splattered jeans.
Splattered jeans and
splattered
splattered walls.
Not the
good.
whiskey.
That was good.
All right. So in the fall of 2003, so we're going back in time, I was preparing to sell my house, which was located in a very old historic neighborhood here in Tampa, Florida, called Seminole Heights. Actually, where my dad grew up, my grandmother had her house here. I spent many nights with my siblings at her house, etc. So I actually inherited that house.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So when my grandmother passed, my father said, "You need somewhere to go. You need to leave You need to leave home." So talked to my aunt, and long story short, I inherited the house, and I was in the house for like a good 12 years.
Yeah.
But when we got to 2003, I'm like, I want to leave Florida. I want to go see the world, and I did. I went to Philadelphia for a year, and then I came back because things were really expensive. But I digress. All right, so Seminole Heights house, 2003. Now, the house was old. It was built at the turn of the 20th century, and it'd be considered what you would call a shotgun home. And what a shotgun home is, it means that if you open the front door and the back door at the same time and you had a shotgun and you shot it, the bullet would not hit anything. It would go straight through the house.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very familiar
And-
with those in New York City.
Yeah, just out the end. Today, they're more commonly called porch homes, which we're sitting in a porch home right now.
Yeah, a bungalow. Yeah.
Yeah.
These Tampa bungalows, yeah.
So needless to say, when you're getting ready to sell a house of a certain age, you need to make sure things are all up to code.
Yeah.
Unless you're selling as is. Well, my electric was out of code. And so I needed someone to come and inspect the electric, let me know what I would need to do, make recommendations, provide a solution, so I could get all that squared away and actually sell my house.
Yeah.
So that's where I was. Now, about a month before I sold my house and moved to Philadelphia, this was October of 2003, so it was like right before Halloween, I was out with some friends at a happy hour at a local gay bar called Babylon.
Babylon.
I know.
Like from Queer's Folk?
Yeah,
Babylon.
they named it Babylon. It was a bar / restaurant / dance club.
Love that.
So obviously it hasn't been around since we've
Yeah,
been
it's been closed many years now. But it was located just at the top border of Seminole Heights, like in River, like when you get to the North Seminole Heights or whatever.
It's not too far from our office because our agency's in Seminole Heights, so it's not too far from there.
Yeah, not too far from there.
Yeah.
So it was like perfect. So if you were a local,
Yeah.
you didn't have to go like a great distance just to go out with your friends, have a nice happy hour, a couple cocktails, some good music. Because I am a sucker for the videos that are playing with songs you can sing along.
Oh, 100%.
And I'm like, Gloria Gaynor's still alive and releasing new music. What's going on?
Gloria.
It was. Look up her hit of 2003.
Oh my God, I love it so much.
You have homework now. So on this night, I'm there with my friends and we're just talking. And of course, I start talking about the electric in the house because they're asking me, what's going on. And this man who was always there, his name was Steven.
It's always the man that's always there.
Steven.
Yeah, Steven. Later, I found out, months later, that his full name was Steven Lorenzo. He overheard our conversation. Now.
Oh, he overheard your conversation.
He overheard our conversation.
Steven. Okay.
So, like I said, he was always there, so he seemed harmless. Like, if you went to happy hour, like every Friday or whatever, you would see him. And he was always in, like, those orange steel-toe construction boots, splatter jeans, paint splatter jeans.
Oh, my God.
And...
See
the name? And a white T-shirt that looked like it was all covered in, like, drywall powder, like that plaster type powder.
What you're describing sounds kind of hot to me, but,
He's like, hi, my name's Steven.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, look at you.
Hello, Steven.
I know.
So he always had that look like you knew he just got off the construction site, and this was his I'm winding down at the end of the week.
Is
Drink.
it weird that my mind goes right to your dick stinks?
Oh, I mean, yes. I mean, one,
that weird?
it's not weird for you.
Yeah.
To others, probably.
I don't
But
know, like-
that is something that you actually think.
You know why?
When
Because
you
I
look
was,
at people at
I was
times.
kind of slutty when I was younger, and my thought would have been like, "Ooh, he's hot. Maybe there's a bet. I don't know."
Right.
It's
It's like that one time we were driving to St. Pete, and there was this like grungy red old Corvette driving next to us, and there was a guy in it, and we're like, he was hot, but he looked like he'd smell like stale cigarettes. And that both turns us on right now.
yeah, we were like, God, he's really hot. He probably smells like cigarettes. Yeah, and we were both like, that's
Do you
fine.
think they're Pall Malls?
Anyway, that was my first thought. All right, so stinky dick. Okay,
So I will say that, I mean, he wasn't not attractive, but he wasn't like you'd look at him and be like, hey, construction daddy.
Yeah.
So anyway, he overheard our conversation and he decided to come over and introduce himself. Hence, my name's Steven. And he said, couldn't happen but over here. Great news. I actually inspect electric. I actually am a home inspector. It's part of like my construction gig, but home inspector by trade.
How convenient.
yeah.
Yeah, and he pulled out a card out of his wallet, gave it to me.
I wasn't expecting. He pulled out a card. Sorry.
No, he pulled out a business card. It said Lorenzo Construction.
Do you think he's saying pull out his dick?
I was in it.
It was still happy hour, and Gloria Gaynor was on the TV.
not there yet. Okay,
We're not there
Too
yet.
early.
Anyway, pulls out his card.
So he pulls out his card, and then he offered to buy me a drink, and I'm like, I had a drink, and I'm like, oh no, I'm good. Thank you so much. And that's great. I've been looking for someone, to come inspect the electric, and you're thinking, this is too good to be true. This is too good to be true.
This is perfect because this is what we do. We just speak the whole time. Yeah, do. Too good to be due. Okay.
Yeah, and I always like point it out when I correct it. I'm like, da, da, da.
Let's make a shirt now, Julia's shirt that says "Too good to be due."
Right.
Too good to be due.
You heard it here first. Okay.
So declined the drink, thanked him, but we invited him to join us because he was by himself, and we had seen him before.
Yeah.
And then things got a little weird in my mind where like little bells go off because the conversation went, I live in the neighborhood. I have a house not too far from here. I'm still in my work clothes and it's early. Why don't I just follow you home?
Oh no.
Oh.
Yeah. Why don't I just follow you home and I can like just inspect it now? He's like, in fact, I have to stop at my house first, get some stuff. A reader or whatever he was saying. I don't remember exactly. He's like, we can have a drink there, then go to your house. We can do it. It'll be done. Then I'll write up all the paperwork. You'll have it next week. It'll be great. So all this is going off in my head.
Yeah.
And, it's just like, my mom didn't raise no fool. And I'm like, thank you so much. I have your card. But I'm here with my friends.
Yeah.
We're all here having a good time. I really don't want to backtrack, and go home. It's a little too early for that. But thank you. So he's like, oh, okay. No worries. But make sure you call me. Well, I did not call.
Which I'm thinking is probably a good thing.
Probably good.
Yeah, so I did not call. So during the same time, you started to hear, if you were a gay man in Tampa, you started to hear about guys missing and then guys waking up and guys like, I don't know what happened to me.
Oh my God, that's
I was
terrifying.
I was out at this bar and
Oh
I woke
my.
up and they would like have all the signs of either they had been tortured
Or abused.
sexually tortured
gosh.
or abused, black and blue marks
Oh my Lord.
and all this stuff. And they would wake up like next
you
to a
know.
dumpster.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, just like they were like dropped off somewhere.
Yeah, like they were just trash thrown away.
So the consensus was if you're going out as a gay man in Tampa, you at least have a buddy
You need to have
system.
your buddy system.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
have
yeah.
your buddy system.
Yeah.
Watch each other's drinks because we don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
And it was getting scary because no one had like disappeared for good at that point. But over the next 2 weeks, these guys would like just be different days of the week, just like disappear, then 2 days later pop up type of thing.
Oh my gosh, that's terrifying.
So same group of friends, like 2 weeks later, they're like, let's go to a gay leather bar. There you go. That doesn't exist anymore, called 2606.
Oh,
Now,
no, it's just
What a
Mr.
fun name,
DZ,
2606.
right? Or Mr. What is it? Mr.
Mr. D's.
Mr.
now.
D's. Yeah. We still have to go there. Anyway.
So 2606, it would be what you would consider the last call bar.
Yeah.
It was where you just wanted to go to find someone to hook up right
Yeah.
then, right there.
You had
It's
a
like
mission
The,
when
it's like
you went
the
there.
Eagle in New York City.
Yeah.
Yes. And I mean, I'm no angel.
We
you know, years.
Slut.
I know. I'm a
We've heard
sleuth.
these stories.
He's a flute.
Yes.
He's a salute too.
I may have like the gay softball team was in town from Dallas, and I may have gone upstairs and batter up. So it was that type of bar.
They call that the home run.
Yes. I came into home base. In front of my friends, which I could still, one was like this. I can't believe you just did that. And I'm like, jealous. And you talk about confidence.
Right.
So anyway, so we decided we are going to go to 2606.
Yeah.
They had strong drinks, burly men, sex in the corners, all those good fun things. But again, you still had that stick together.
Yeah.
Sure.
Should we be going out? Because it's random guys. And it wasn't like the same type of guy was like disappearing.
Yeah.
It was just like random, different ages,
Weird.
different body shapes, different
Yeah.
Yeah.
features type of thing. So we're like, okay. So I park. And this was like a week before I sold the house and like left. So met Steven at Babylon. 2 weeks later, we go to 2606. A week after that, I move. So I park in front of the building, and my friends, like passenger seat, two were in the back seat. They get out of the car. As soon as they get out, I hear one of the back doors open again, and hear someone like jump in, and I look in the rearview mirror, and it's Steve and Lorenzo.
Ew. But your friends were right outside the car.
Yeah, my friends were right outside the car, and
Yeah, that's so creepy.
he was. You could tell he had been drinking. I don't know if he was on anything else at that point.
Yeah.
But he just started yelling like, "You never called me. Why didn't you call? Don't you need your fucking electric inspected in your house? Don't you want to sell your house?"
Yeah, but it doesn't have to be you, especially not now.
Yeah. And he's like, "Why didn't you call? I told you I would do it. We could have done it that night." He's like, "I'm here now. Maybe we can go do it now." And I'm just like, "Get out of my car." And I'm just like, when you're like mad, terrified,
Yeah.
just in shock.
Caught off guard.
And I'm like looking in the rear view because I didn't want to like even turn and look at him.
Ew, this
And I'm
is-
like,
yeah.
"Get out of my
But
car."
especially that late at night. No, we're not going to we're not going to my house to get an inspection
yeah.
done.
But also, like, I don't know you anything.
No.
Like, I
Yeah.
don't- it's my decision to call you or not.
I don't have to use your service. I could go somewhere else.
But also-
obviously,
Yeah. Sorry.
no, you're good. You just
I'm
totally distracted me enough. I forgot what I was
know.
saying.
I'm just stuck on the visual of being in your driver's seat and in your rearview mirror, you're seeing this guy aggressively coming at you. Like that just but also like the balls on this dude, because your friends are right outside. They just got out of the car and he just jumps in.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just jumped in. And so my friends, came to my rescue.
Yeah.
And they're like, dude, get out of the car. Get out of his car now.
Yeah.
And, they had opened the doors and they would go to grab him. He's like, fine. And he got out of the car and he just like stomped towards the entrance. And I just looked at my friends. I'm still in the driver's seat. And I'm like, we're not going here.
No. Yeah. No, I'm not walking one foot in that door.
Let's go to like my house or go somewhere and, we can have a couple drinks there.
Yeah.
I'm like, mood is ruined. I'm feeling all the emotions that I did not want to feel, especially at 2606, because I was like, dark corners, no. Regret set in. So
you're like, when I said I wanted to get murdered, I didn't mean actually murdered.
Yeah,
exactly.
I meant murder my anus, not my fucking spirit and soul. Yeah.
So that happened. A week later, sold my house, packed up the house, drove the big truck to Philadelphia, and moved to Philadelphia. When I'm in Philadelphia, things started to come out.
Oh my God.
So between that incident and me moving and being in Philadelphia for probably like a week or two.
Yeah.
First, Jason Galehouse, 26-year-old guy, goes missing. And he did not wake up like everyone else, was just like a few days later. And then Michael Wachholtz, actually, I looked up the pronunciation. I wanted to make sure I get it right. Wachholtz, he went missing, also 26 years old. They didn't know each other, no relation. Both picked up at 2606.
My God.
And what was happening was Mr. Stephen Lorenzo had an accomplice who he had met online named Scott Schweikert.
Oh my God. So anytime there's an accomplice, it's like somebody found somebody else that was.
So they were in these AOL, because this was the time when America Online, you've got mail type of thing. They had met in these AOL chat rooms, Scott and Stephen. And Stephen's name on AOL was Master Scott.
Ew.
No, Scott's name was Master Scott.
Ew.
And Stephen's name was Dom Dude for Sub.
Oh, no.
Oh, well.
And they started, because they thought it would be fun, to start picking up guys, drug them, or get them to go home with them, drug them, and then sexually torture them.
Wow.
And then, take them somewhere and they could wake up and, Rohypnol or whatever that makes you forget, would be in their systems.
Wow.
Well, what happened when Jason Galehouse came along, as with most people that go down this path, sexual torture was not enough. The thrill was no longer there.
Because they had done it so much before.
Because they had done it so much before.
They were progressing and they were finding their next.
Yeah.
So basically, Jason, they ended up asphyxiating, tortured him, and basically just like shut his windpipe off and killed him. And then a few days later, they picked up Michael and did the same thing.
Same thing. Yeah.
The good news is they were caught.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
So they were caught after the two.
They were caught after the two, but did have plans of, keep on going.
Oh, I'm sure.
So after they killed Galehouse first, so Jason first, they both worked to dismember his body.
Oh, my Lord.
They stuffed it in construction bags, hence splattered walls, which were taken to random locations throughout Tampa. And so, we're going to drop some feet here.
Like they're just trash, just throwing them out with the trash.
So, Wachholtz, his body was found weeks after his murder. And this was after they had arrested both Stephen and Scott. They didn't dismember his body, but they did wrap him in a sheet, stuffed him in the back of a car in a nearby car park, and just left the car there. So his body was rotting in the trunk of the car.
Was that his car that they put him in?
It was just a random.
Just a random car. So it'd be like a car park. Think of like
where they
long-term
go and crash
parking.
Oh.
So
I don't know what a car park is. Oh,
so
okay.
a car park is where you park your car for an extended period of time.
Yeah, like at the airport, at the further lot.
For whatever reason. So they found a car that was kind of like in the back corner, popped the trunk, put his body in there, closed it, and then went about their business. So his body was found weeks later.
Lord.
Now, they were arrested at the end of 2003. They did not come to justice really until 20 years later, until 2023.
What?
Yeah. So a man who testified at the trial, which I'll get to in a moment, said, Stephen Lorenzo 20 years ago, I felt like I drank some funny tasting wine and then I lost consciousness.
Oh, man.
I woke up restrained, naked, duct tape over my face, became hysterical and panicked and somehow managed to escape. So that kind of gives you an idea of kind of like what was going on with these guys.
That's just
I couldn't
awful.
even fathom that. Because it's just like a horror movie.
Yeah. And Tampa at the time, too, was kind of like pretty anti-gay, wasn't it? So I can't imagine that they were maybe as on the case as they...
Yeah, we didn't... Yeah, Pride had been canceled. We didn't have Pride and any of that.
Yeah. Wow.
So my sources now, giving credit where credit's due, are from the Tampa Bay Times and ABC Action News here in Tampa Bay. And so we flash forward 20 years. So OHKURT and Lorenzo have been in jail. Lorenzo was convicted, sentenced to death for the two murders. Mm-hmm. And OHKURT was arrested as accomplice to murder. Mm-hmm. But he didn't get the full charge. It went to Lorenzo because they said Lorenzo was basically like the mastermind.
Yeah.
It sounds like he was.
Yeah, it does.
So the last 6 years, as we work our way to 2023, Lorenzo kept pleading for the death penalty. He's like, just kill me.
Because it was more of an out for him.
Yeah.
I feel like I saw this on the news.
He's like, just kill me. He's like, everyone in this room, in this prison, by room he meant like prison, has a death sentence. He's like, just speed up the process. I've been waiting 15 years. So finally 6 years.
I'm sorry you killed people. I don't have sympathy for you.
Yeah. So finally the 6 years go by and we're in 2023 and they're in their final court hearings. And Lorenzo said, in this lifetime, I'm the bad guy and you're the good guy. Maybe in the next lifetime, the roles will be reversed. And then he said this, the sooner you put me to death, the sooner I can be reincarnated in a new body and start all over again.
Oh, fuck you.
Oh, he crazy.
100%
Yes.
fuck
That's
you.
so gross.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
So not remorseful.
not remorseful. And his original sentence was 200 years. Life sentence, But he's like, please just kill me. I'm guilty. I did it. I enjoyed it.
Ew.
I would, if you didn't catch me, I would still be doing it.
Oh my gosh.
Whether it would be with Scott OHKURT or somebody else that I convinced to come help me.
Yeah, totally.
At least he's honest about it too, though. Because there's so many cases where people are going to jail still not admitting to it. At least there was that where he at least came out and said, yes, I did it.
Yeah, I agree.
Which is not really any better than...
Yeah, but it sounds like his confession is more of done in a celebratory, narcissistic way.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
100%.
Like not in like a genuine kind of like, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, so, and he always consistently referred to himself, like in court, as the bondage master.
Ew, I hate you.
Ew.
Steven.
Explaining his
Dirtbag.
fetish, which was perfectly normal sexual bondage session encounters. And Scott OHKURT, who was sentenced to life in prison, so he's still in prison, he's still alive. On the witness stand, he described a depraved, wonderful fantasy world that started in online chats that later became the reality in Lorenzo's home where everything occurred, in which the goal was to kidnap, enslave, sexually torture unwitting gay men, and if their victims didn't like it, that eventually turned to, well, we will kill you.
Oh my Lord.
So let me back up to me being at Babylon going, no, I don't want to go to your house.
Yeah, that was a very good decision.
Yeah, you have the thing. You have the thing that
yeah.
some people don't have to
Yeah.
be like, this feels weird.
Yeah, your intuition
What
was
did
like,
it-
don't do it.
Right. What did it do to you when you learned that you had such a close encounter with this person?
Yeah.
It makes you really appreciate what you have.
Yeah.
Because, all of us in our life come up against death, whether it's a car accident or whatever it may be.
Sure.
You're like,
Yeah.
oh, I could, die any minute. But when it's something that's purposeful like that,
Yeah.
where someone is trying to take control of you.
Yeah, and there's no reason, no rhyme.
And there's no reason, no rhyme. You just happen to be here, and you fit the bill right now, so you can come with me.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to say it didn't like mess with me, because it does mess with your head. Like,
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
ooh. Well, thank goodness that I had that feeling, that intuition, whatever you want to call it, to not do that. Thank goodness friends were with me when I went to 2606.
Oh, yeah.
And I wasn't by myself in the car with him.
Yeah.
Because that could have changed. or
100%.
happened, very differently.
Imagine if he had like a weapon on him and he was like able to.
Like I even thought like
Forcefully take
chloroform,
you.
like
Yeah.
in the back seat, and it's like,
Yep.
For sure.
because it was dark. There'd be no cameras or anything at that time. Because all of that didn't exist for the most part.
Yeah.
On such a wide scale as it does now.
Yeah. Yeah.
It wasn't like cell phones and cameras, and so to answer your question, it was unstartling. But then it's kind of like, okay, well, there's a reason that didn't happen. There's a reason that it gives me impetus to. There's still more that I'm meant to do.
Sure.
Yeah.
And whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, in the latest reincarnation is me walking.
Yeah.
And me influencing people to the point of, I need to walk and I walk because of you, or I need to do this and it's because of you.
Yeah. Well, I also think though that it's a time to celebrate that you have this ability to understand what's good and what's not, right? Like I think in that moment, it could have been like, oh my God, this kind of sounds exciting. Yeah, like let me do that.
Yeah.
That sounds fun, right?
Which is
and
how
it-
I'm
yeah.
sure they got people, because they were
100%.
like, yes, absolutely, why not? Let's go
No,
do this.
they were obviously very good at their game. So I think that it's also a way to celebrate who you are, because there's that element of you.
Yeah.
That was like oh no.
Yeah.
This doesn't feel right. Yeah. Which I think people need to listen to more.
Yeah.
So,
No, I totally agree.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
Wow.
So to give you a little insight on what the full night would be, in testimony, Lorenzo laid out the whole experience with their second victim, Michael Watschultz. And he's like, on the night we invited Watschultz over, Scott and I were both drinking mixed alcoholic beverages. We were also consuming crystal meth and GHB.
Oh, Lord.
And offered them to Watchell to accept it, saying the reason he accepted is because we convinced him the drugs would relax him. You know, that we're just going to do a bondage session. It's not, safe words.
Yeah.
Things of that nature. It's not going to be torture, etc. And it's not going to last any more than 20 minutes.
Okay.
We also gave an inhalant, which he didn't describe what the inhalant was, to Michael. And we got his consent while he was bound, because they had convinced him it was going to be safe.
He didn't think it was going to be the last moments of his life.
Yeah. And then shortly, he's on all the drugs. He this is what Stephen Lorenzo said, he unexpectedly and suddenly, without warning, stopped moving. The combination of drugs and alcohol we gave him we thought proved to be a lethal combination for him. Now, remember, they had already killed Jason Galehouse. So we thought the most humane thing to do would just to be to suffocate him to make sure he was dead.
Or call 911.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or just not do it at all.
Or just don't. Yeah. I mean.
So that's kind of what was going on, at least in his storytelling side of things. But there were multiple witnesses, friends of the victims who came forward, the mothers of both victims, basically saying an eye for an eye. Jason Galehouse's mother basically said, "You took my beautiful son, turned him into hamburger, and spread him around the city."
Oh,
So-
so
sad.
awful.
I would wish the same for you, but you deserve worse.
Yeah. Well, yes.
Yeah.
So he was finally put to death. He was sentenced to death by the state of Florida by lethal injection. And in 2023, we said goodbye to Stephen Lorenzo. And if there is a God, do not reincarnate this man.
Yeah.
Now that motherfucker's done.
So that's
wow.
my story.
That's so crazy.
Well, that was fucked up. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm a little stunned. This is giving me kind of the New Mexico serial killer vibes that would take women into the trailer.
Yeah.
And torture them and yeah. So that
100%.
videotape them on all that weird shit. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Gross.
Real quick.
I know. Normally, I'm full of happy, joyful stories,
I know.
rainbows and unicorns and laughter. Not splattered walls and splattered jeans, splattered walls.
jeans and splattered walls. That's just so
When
creepy.
murder comes to call.
That was fucked up.
That was so fucked up.
I lived it. Yeah.
Right. And I love that you had that like personal connection because a lot of the ones that we've at least had on or review here on other.
Maddie? I mean,
on
even
other,
Maddie had a personal connection to
Yeah.
in Denver. Yeah.
Yeah, but this one is even
No, this is like
crazier,
you could
right?
have been a victim.
And you don't
Yeah.
hear in
Yeah.
a lot of the like the hometown murders that other podcasts have. You don't hear that side of it, so I think it's really interesting to get the perspective of like, oh no, I actually almost like.
Well,
like,
you know
I met
what?
this man. I've heard from him. I talked to him.
What's funny and like not funny, haha, but the funny like odd sensibility in the universe.
Sure.
Is when you have something like that type of experience, suddenly like people who you're friends with, they're like, me too. Like I have a friend, she was in the army, she was raped while at her post,
Yep.
left for dead.
Which is unfortunately
Took
happens
her,
often.
took her dog tags, and
Jesus
then
Christ.
turned out at the base, however many miles away from the base she was at,
Yeah.
there was a soldier who was like raping women and leaving them for dead, and they opened his like bunk thing, chest or whatever, and all these women's dog tags were in there.
Oh,
So,
gross.
and then
It's just-
it's just like, well, you never told me that. She's
Yeah.
like, I never had a reason to. She's like,
Yeah.
but then you had something happen, and
Yeah.
I'm like, oh,
Well, sometimes you just
We're trauma
don't.
bonding.
Yeah, sometimes you just don't talk
Yep.
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's
Well, and how do you bring that up in normal conversation?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, it's so great to see you. By the way,
by the way,
I was almost murdered once. Right? Oh my god! Wow. Yeah. I mean, I'm really glad that you weren't.
yeah. Thank you for following that feeling.
Yeah.
Your gut instinct.
Thank you for.
You're welcome.
Well, that's why I think people need to listen to that shit more.
Yeah.
Right? If I feel funky about some person, I'm like, nope.
Yeah.
Good.
yeah,
No, thank you.
always
Yeah.
listen, especially if it's something that's just like no,
Yeah.
no, don't do it.
I'm getting a lot better at that too. Like as I get older, if people are acting funky, I'm like, no, I'm gonna
Especially
go
when
with
you're
that
in places that are like a club or a bar where something can very easily happen. Somebody could slip something in your drink very easily without you knowing. And
Yeah.
being aware of your surroundings and what you're doing and what your friends are doing is really important.
I have been roofied. It was purposely by Brandon's old friend, but which is a fucking
no
story.
longer friends.
No, she did not like me, so she roofied me. But
Oh, wow.
I was at a bar. I know, weird, but I was at a bar in Denver called Trax, which it used to have Trax here.
Yeah,
they were the
we
same
did.
owner. So Trax in Denver. I was with my friend Chantel, and somebody slipped a roofie in what they thought was my drink, but it was hers.
Oh,
So she ended up getting, I mean, it was really bad. And I was in the bathroom with her until the bar closed down and I had to like carry her out. It was awful, but it was meant for me.
Yeah.
oh, wow.
So we were at a gay club and it was just, yeah, she was holding my both drinks.
Oh.
So, I mean, it's that, like, it can be that,
Yeah.
you know, which is unfortunate. But yeah, there are just predators, man.
Yeah. People just,
Yeah.
a lot of people just genuinely suck.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. That must have been rough for the gay community at that time here too, because they were already, chastised for being who they are. Which
Yeah.
2003 was, I mean, that's when I came out right after that.
Yeah.
Right. Like right at I came out in late 2003, but to like out was in 2004. Like,
well, yeah,
starting,
it's
but-
when your safe spaces are taken away from
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
And
By your own community,
by your
though.
own community. And
Yeah.
of course, it's like, okay, we're still going to do it, but
Sure.
buddy up.
Yeah.
But it was scary.
Well, and I would say it's important to buddy up anyway.
Yeah, I
Like,
totally agree.
Always. Yeah. And I think that, yeah, it just is.
Crazy.
So, well, fuck, dude.
Well, thank you for coming on and
Yeah.
sharing.
Thanks for having me.
that.
I love that. And Anna, so excited to see you later this week. 'Cause
Yay.
We will be back in New York City,
Yeah.
which I'm excited for. But yeah, if you love Homocide the podcast, please go follow us on all the socials. And then also rate and review. Please, please, please do that on Apple and Spotify. Those two specifically.
Yeah. And if you have your own Homotown story to share with us,
Yeah.
please write in. I don't think we've done a call out for that in quite some time.
We have not.
because we've been busy. But if you have your own Homotown Murders and you'd like to join us on the podcast, whether that's in person or virtual,
If we know you, it'll be in person.
yes,
We value our lives. Thank you.
right,
You're not going to come murder us
Right.
during the recording.
right.
No, thank you.
Yeah, and
Not
we're not going to
invited.
do any like live recorded murderings of
I
us
happened
either.
over here. You had a podcast.
Right?
No.
Yeah, but email us, send them in, and we'll chat and we'll read your story and connect with you. Email us at murder@homocidepodcast.com. And we'll
We'll have another episode next Tuesday, which we're excited about. I think we'll see
if we can make it happen.
if we can make it happen. But this was a great Homotown Murder. So Julius, thank you.
No, thank you. Thank you for
any-
having me.
Any parting words for our audience?
Keep walking in whatever aspect of your life that means. Just keep, please, walking forward. Don't be stuck in a rut. Don't be a dog chasing your own tail.
I do love that. And if you
And walk away from the murderers.
Thank you.
Walk away from the murderers.
I was going to
And
say
if-
maybe run.
And if they're like alligators, zigzag walk away from your murderers.
Wait, I said that the other day, and somebody was like, "That doesn't work." And
Yeah,
I'm
it was
like,
our niece Brianna.
I know. I was
and
like, I
Alyssa.
thought that I was always told if an alligator starts chasing you, you run in zigzags,
Yeah.
and it'll be like, all right.
Apparently, that's a myth that's
Apparently
been
it's not
debunked,
right.
but we did not look it up, so we
The
have no
gators
context.
have gotten smarter. The zigzag is no longer working. You must leap. Leap in the air like a kangaroo. Do something.
Oh my god,
One-footed.
that is funny.
Philodendron.
Yeah, that
We
was
should try to find the opening sequence of that podcast
I
and
actually
end
think I
with
still-
this podcast.
I
with
think
it.
I still have that.
So, if you're listening, if you hear a jingle after this, it'll be the opening to
Yeah, if I can
So
find
Basic
it,
podcast.
we'll include our old opening, which has
Marissa's
stupid.
cackle in it as well.
It does have
Yes.
Marissa's cackle, philodendron. I don't even remember what was in it.
And we're gonna have Marissa on
Some type of
hopefully
pants.
in the next couple weeks, and you'll get to hear the cackle because that cackle is
Yeah, our friend Marissa is just this Cuban goddess, and I fucking love her. I talked about her the last time because she
Yeah.
does hair and makeup. Yeah, for me. So, well, for my photos. Anyway, whatever. She'll be on to. You'll hear. That's it. You'll hear it.
Yeah.
It'll be great. So, and on that note, goodbye.
Goodbye, my friend.
Bye.